We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hi, I'm an elf. Okay, we are just having too much fun here. Hey guys, it's Sandy from Balloon Utopia and Market with Balloons, and today I'm going to show you how to make a cute little elf. So this elf, it's kind of based on Robbie Furman's Loodles. This head style I've been doing for a while. I called it a football head, and then Robbie Furman came out and really popularized this type of design under the Loodles is what he calls them. So you should definitely look up his Loodles videos because he's got like a million Loodle variations. But this is my interpretation of his interpretation of, you know, et cetera, so forth and so on. All right, so we are going to start with a blush 260. You could do blush, you could do mocha, you could do pink, whatever color, you could do blue for that matter, although that might be more like a Smurf. But whatever color your elf is, that's what color you can use. So we're gonna use blush because that's what I had. All right, so to start with, we're gonna make a little pinch twist, just a little like 1-inch bubble, and we're just gonna pinch twist it just like that. And then I always take the nozzle and just kind of rub it around in a couple extra times just to make it good and secure. And then we're gonna do about like a handful in width, and you wanna make it like a little bit soft, but not like too soft. And then we're gonna make another pinch twist. So now we have like kind of a dog bone. And then we're gonna come down and we're going to wrap it in again like this. So, and we're gonna go back and forth the total of 5 times, and so that kind of makes what I would call the football, right? Kind of a distorted football. Okay, so now we have like this kind of like monkey looking football thing, and for the rest of it, we want to take this off, but we're gonna use a piece of it for the nose. So, I forgot my scissors again because I'm just that organized today. And we want to wrap this piece here through to kind of just tie it and secure it. And then the little nose piece, we want a cute little button nose, so we want to kind of like let a little bit of air out and then just tie it off and set it aside. Stay. All right, now we're going to do the hair, and I'm going to make my elf blonde because, you know, I am. And so you kind of want to look at it and like decide like, do I like this side better or that side better? Like what gives the face shape that I like the best? So I think I'm going to go with like kind of a bigger forehead, so I'm going to use this side. Okay, so I'm going to take this nozzle and just wrap it right into the pinch twist here, and then I'm going to kind of sew this in like that. Today the balloons are extra squeaky for your listening pleasure. All right, so then we're just gonna kind of go back and forth a couple of times. And we're gonna be putting a little hat on, so we don't have to get maybe such a complete coverage as we might for a different design. So we're just gonna kind of do a couple back and forth, and we're actually gonna be putting some red one there for his little hat. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of that, and again, I'm just gonna kind of twist this in, tie it in so that it's nice and secure. I don't want anything falling apart. Okay, so we're gonna take our red 260, and we're gonna kind of, again, tie it in just like we did with the yellow. Like that, and then just kind of making a little bit of like a little bit of a triangle, and then coming back down and twisting it around. And then we're gonna wrap that one in too. Okay, so we're gonna add some more details in just a moment, but before we get there, let's go ahead and give him some earses. So the ears, we're gonna take another blush 260, and we're just going to kind of do like that. And then this time I'm gonna actually tie it off, because then I'm gonna cut it and then retie it. And we're gonna use this 160, sorry, for a couple of different things. Okay, and then we're just gonna twist that around like this and tie that off. And put that down. Let a little bit of air out. Okay, and then we want to kind of squeeze it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Squeeze it like that to give the elfie ear shape. Okay, we'll put those to the side. Okay, so now we're gonna give him some eyes. So we're gonna take a white 5-inch round and just put a tiny little puff of air into it, like this. And we're going to split this, trying as much as possible to make the two halves equal. It can be kind of a challenge. And then we're going to take our little leftover piece, so now we have like this, okay? So that's the nose and the eyes. And we're going to put this in. Now, one part we want to secure to an ear so it holds it on, and the other part we're actually going to just kind of tuck it away, because eventually this is going to be used to attach to our body. Okay, so we're going to stay. Put this in, and I'm going to attach that to the ear, wrapping it around and putting it in. And then the leftover blush piece, we're going to just kind of tuck into the corner for now. We'll finish his mouth later. Now we also want a little white one. Also just a tiny little bubble there. Now this one, you want to try to tie leaving some neck. Because what we're going to want to do is we want to put a couple of pinch twists. So we want to kind of push that air down and then do a couple little pinch twists. See one there? And one there. So that's going to kind of make his little elf thing. And what's really fun, if you want, you can put a jingle bell in it, and then, you know, it'll also be a jingle bell, which is kind of fun. Now, we want to take a white 160 and kind of add the trim. And so the same thing, we're just going to tie it into his ear and tuck it through, make it nice and tight. Come on the other side and do the same, and then bring it to the back. And then we might need this for trim later, so we'll just kind of tie it off and keep it for later. All right, so here we have our basic elf head, except for now we need to add our ears to it. So the ears, you're just going to take it and just kind of like put it over the little ear piece there, and then wrap it all around and tighten it up. Yeah, extra squeaky today. I don't know why. And then you can kind of play with it to get like the shape that you want, you know, for maximum elfishness. And if you do it in green without the hat, it can look very much like a famous space warrior guru guy. All right, so here we have our little elf head, and then you'll want to like make sure that you're hiding all the mechanics. And then we're going to do like really, really fancy artwork here. A circle. And another circle. And some eyebrows. If you're a better artist than me, and I'm pretty sure you probably are, you can do like fancier eyes with stars in them and everything. But I have to keep my artwork simple because I'm not good at that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make his body. And I'm thinking that I want to put him in, yeah, I think I'm going to put him in a green suit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 green balloons, and we're kind of doing like a modified hitchhiker body here, except that since we're going to give him little hands, we're just going to make a little bend, just like that, in each balloon. And we're gonna tie on to these later and embellish them. Okay, and then we're gonna take it like this, so we have them both the same size, and twist them together. And now we're gonna take it together and make 2 little bubbles. I'd say that they're, I don't know, about your thumb, a little bit bigger than your thumb, so maybe about 1.5 inches. Okay, and now we're gonna do a double pinch twist. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna squeeze this together and like kind of pull them both up at the same time, gently, and twist them, and then kind of rotate them in opposite directions. And that's gonna form this kind of double pinch twist. So now here's what we have. Okay, and now we're gonna come down here about a hands grab, like this. And I'm gonna pull one through. And so now we're gonna take one of these legs and we're gonna bring it back up. We wanna make him kind of like a fun, chubby little elf. And so we're gonna wrap this up and around. And I forgot to tell you, but these were about 3/4 full, the 260s. They were 3/4 full. Okay, and we're gonna wrap it around like that. And then I'm gonna sew it through just to make sure it's good and tight. Just like that. Okay, and we're gonna leave that for later. And then, actually, you know what? I think I will. Okay, so then we're gonna do like this. And now we're gonna kind of figure out, okay, you know what? I think right about there is where I want his feet to be. So we're gonna twist it off, and now we're gonna take a black 160, and we're gonna make some little shoeses. Okay, we're gonna make a little bubble, and a loop, and a pinch twist. And then another little bubble, and a loop that's the same size, and a pinch twist. Just like this, okay? So, well, that's okay. We lost our little bubble in the middle, but that's okay. All right. We can always add it with the extra piece if we need to. So now we're going to take it where we twisted it off, and we're going to twist that in to one of the black pinch twists. Just like so. And we're going to measure it off on the other side and do the same thing. Now, the reason that we do the bends before we twist it is because once we twist it in, there's a lot of pressure in here. And then if you try to bend it, it's likely to pop. So you want to do that when you have less pressure. And now we're just going to get rid of that and kind of sew it around and through to make it really tight. I prefer that when I do balloons for kids that they're not going to fall apart. They might pop either on purpose or an accident, but they're not going to just fall apart and unravel. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Get rid of that and then sew this through. And don't eat the balloons, kids. All right, and then we're going to kind of give ourselves a little breathing room here and tie it back off because we might need to use this for something in just a moment. Okay, so here we have the basic body, and you can see it doesn't really matter that much that that middle bubble deflated. I mean, I could put it back using the extra piece, but I don't think it's that important. So I'm going to get rid of that. just tighten everything up. And then you can kind of like tuck the pieces away, so like you have that. Okay, so now we're gonna take his head and twist it onto the body. So you see we have that little hanging piece that we left from before. So we're gonna take that and twist it into these 2 pinch twists. Okay, so the cool thing about this design is it's easy to make him sit if you need him to be sitting or to be standing. Now, if you want him to stand, he is a top-heavy design, so you're either going to have to tie his feet down or stick him down or put some weight in them. So, you know, I mean, you could like just put like take some 5-inch black balloons and just put a little bit of water and make a tiny little water weight to weight him down. You could use some coins to weight him down. Sugar packets if you're doing it in a restaurant or something, so there's a lot of different ways. Okay, so now we want to kind of embellish him a little bit. There. Okay, so now let's give him some hands. So we're gonna go back to our Blush 160, this is another one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some tiny little dog heads. So just a little bubble, and then another bubble and a third bubble. Twist it together, roll it through, and then we're just gonna kind of tie, see we're taking the nozzle and we're wrapping it around and through, just like this. Happy Merry Christmas! All right, and luckily we still have that other piece. Another one here. So we're gonna just do the same thing, little bubble, little dog leg, little dog head, and then we're gonna use the nozzle to tie it through. Stay. Okay, so now we need to do a little bit more embellishing. So at this point we have to make a choice. I think I'm gonna embellish him with like a little red belt. Sometimes I give him little buttons coming down. So here's where you can get like really creative with it. But we're gonna stick with our red and green color scheme today. So all we're gonna do is take it, wrap it around. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, and I'm just tying it. So I wrapped it around like that, and then in the back I'm just tying a knot. Just like that. And then to make it extra super cute, I want to do that on his wrists. And I don't think I'm going to do his ankles today, but sometimes I also do his ankles. And this is also going to hide the mechanics at the wrist. And you want to kind of squeeze it out so it's a little bit thin, because then it's going to be easier to work with and also more in scale. There's one. So you should, from 1-260, be able to get the belt and the wristlets. Okay, and now we want to kind of clean up all of our little bits and pieces. So normally you should use scissors, not necessarily your teeth. And you can make long-haired elves, short-haired elves, you know, elves of all colors, rainbow-colored elves, you know, the works. And then if you want to kind of make him look like he's smiling a little bit, you can take a 5-inch round, a red 5-inch round, which I didn't have any because I'm just wonderfully prepared today. So I'm using a red heart. and literally just put the tiniest puff of air in it. And then we're gonna tell him, say ah, and we're gonna just shove it in there. Like so. So you see that kind of makes him look like he's smiling. And then you just kind of arrange it, hide your mechanics. You might want to put a candy cane in his hand or make him look like he's waving or whatever. So there we go. We have our super cute little elf. You can put him on your shelf, you can put him on your tree, you can put him on your elf totem pole. Lots of things that you can do with him. You can just have him like sitting around hanging out. So there you go. I hope you like that. And if you did, please give me a like. Share the video with everyone you know. Drop me a comment. Tell me what else you want to learn. We're putting out videos every single week, and I do look at your suggestions, and I try to make them whenever possible. And actually, this one was a request, so there you go. And also, go over to Amazon and get my books. I have a whole bunch of balloon recipe books that really lay it out for you, you know, how much air to put in it, exactly what balloons, number of balloons, etc., etc. So it gives you a level of detail that might not be in the videos. And yeah, until next time, go forth and balloonify!